Every planet and every house in an astrology chart shows some or the other kind of karma of your life. Then why is it that only Rahu and Ketu, or the north node and the south node of the moon, are always referred as the karmic planets and not all the other planets or houses of astrology? Hello and welcome to Picture Astrology. In this video we will try to find out the basic reasoning behind the fact that why only Rahu and Ketu are called as karmic planets, and also based on this understanding I will talk about a very simple yet a potent technique to find out the biggest karmic burden indicated by Rahu and Ketu. In an astrology chart, there are 12 houses and each house signifies some or the other karma of your life. And in Vedic astrology, 9 grahas are primarily considered, and grahas are loosely called as planets. These 9 planets and 12 houses all show some karmas. Say for example, Venus can show your karmas related to women, to your spouses, and how you have been with them in past lives. In fact, it is said that all types of karma, and I make a separate video on various types of karma in detail and you can check them out, but roughly the very basic karma, which is called sanchit karma, which is basically sum total of your all karmas of any of the previous lives. Out of these sanchit karmas, you have only a small portion of karma for this life, which is loosely called as prarabdha. So you have a subset of this karma which you have to go through in this life, and in this life you are going to create some new karmas by your actions also, which is generally technically referred as kriyaman karma. And all these 3 types of karmas can be seen from your horoscope, and yet Rahu Ketu or south node or north node are the only grahas which are referred as karmic planets. And there are clearly few reasons for that. And one most common, which is even often talked about, is that it is said that Rahu and Ketu are related to your past life and also your ancestors. Rahu shows your paternal side or father side ancestors, and Ketu shows your maternal side ancestors, and they are closely related to DNA as well. And you can check my video about how Rahu Ketu together actually forms a structure which is very similar to DNA. But then all other planets are also in some ways significators of actions of your past life. But with Rahu and Ketu there is one more key difference. All the karmas which a person has to go through in this life are further divided into 3 categories. The first one is known in Sanskrit as Drada karma, which can be loosely translated as fixed or very intense karma. The last one is known as Adrada karma, or when loosely translated you can call it movable or changeable. And then there is the middle category, which is Drada Adrada, meaning sometimes they are fixed, sometimes they are movable, much like the 3 natures of the sign. Now, easily movable karmas are the ones on which astrological remedies really work very well. Many of the normal remedies of astrology are suggested for this kind of karma only. The Drada Adrada karma, they can also be remedied, but that requires long-term commitment and a lot of devotion towards the astrological astrological remedy to change the second category of karma. But when it comes to Drada karma or fixed karma, they are really intense, and most of the times a person simply has to go through them. And it doesn't mean that you can't do much about it. You can obviously be better prepared to go through those karmas. And another thing is that karma is not always bad. Drada karmas can also be very good too. They simply mean that they are just really difficult to change. They are very intense. And Rahu Ketu and their placement is one of the indicators of these Drada or intense karmas, which are really difficult to manipulate or change. And as I said, it's not good or bad. It could be good karmas which are Drada karmas too. And therefore invariably Rahu Ketu are known as karmic grahas. But that is not all. Among others, there is one more important reason. So in simple words, If you say what is karma, karma is the sum total of all of your actions and the fruits of those actions, which you call as reaction as well. So you do something and you get something in return, and we are performing action 24/7 in our life. Okay, anything and everything you do is some or the other kind of action or karma, including the breathing. The way you are breathing is also a type of karma. More about this maybe in some other video. But karma is absolutely necessary to sustain your physical life. Unless you have the burden of karma, the physical life cannot be sustained. And that's the reason why emancipation is also described as a way to come out of the bondage of karma. If you have no karma, you will have no need for a physical life. And karma is constantly getting generated. Every action you are doing, you are getting fruits of that action, and it's creating new karma for you, whose result you may get immediately or you may get later on. So karma is a kind of bondage too. But there is one more important aspect in this equation, and that is the desire. You perform an action with a motive or with a desire to get a reaction or get some fruit. Some goal is always associated with your actions. And the karma or actions performed with some intention or some desires are the only karmas which results in karmic burden or which results in the bondage of human life. Now this is a very extensive subject, but in the spirit of keeping our topic in mind about why are Rahu Ketu Karmic Grahas, I would keep it really short. And the crux is that if you perform actions without any desire, then those karmas cannot bind you. And in astrology, desires, especially the desires of the material world, is Rahu, and in some ways Ketu also, which I'll explain maybe some other time. But it is very well known fact that Rahu is the ultimate desire. If you know, Rahu is only brain and senses. So basically Rahu is actually limitless desires. So if you have a intense position of Rahu in your chart, you are going to have intense desires, which will result in a bigger karmic burden for you. And hence Rahu Ketu are not just karmic planets, meaning they not only show the karmas you have to go through in this life, but they are also the binding force or the reason why those karmas can affect your life. Now this also brings to a very interesting question as to what would have happened in solar system or in our lives if Rahu Ketu points didn't exist. It's a wonderful question, and I will make a video about that soon. But again, as promised in the beginning of the video, let's now move to the quick astrology technique which can help you find out your intense or drud. So we know that Rahu is your desire of this life, and to find the drud karmas which you need to either accomplish or go through in this life, placement of Rahu will become very important. But not just that. Look at the Lord of Rahu. Look at the sign in which Rahu is placed and find the Lord of that sign. So basically the ruler of Rahu, and see the influences on this planet. One planet can have many strong influences by association, aspects, etc. And the most intense influence, or if the ruler of Rahu itself is very strongly placed, then that planet will tell you one of or probably the most significant drud karmas. Now again, as I said, the drud karmas can be good as well as bad. There is no negative connotation here. Okay, drud karmas are basically karmas you have to simply go through. It could be pleasant, unpleasant, that depends on the chart. Now what does that Lord of Rahu will tell you? See, if in a spiritual chart it will tell you the duties you need to perform, accomplish. It may not be just for yourself but for the world before you can make further progress in your spiritual life. And knowing that can really help you focus your attention in trying to fulfill karmas dictated by that chart, and that can really help you in the spiritual path. In normal people's chart, that planet will tell you the kind of accomplishment and goals you need to achieve to really feel that your life has been fulfilled. And not just that, at a greater detail, the placement of that planet in different divisional charts can reveal your burning desires in different areas of life and how they will pan out. And again, important thing is, pleasant unpleasant depends upon your chart. And although this is a simple method, applying that can be a little bit tricky. So in next video I will take maybe 2-3 examples of the charts and apply this method and see if we can find the dirt karmas of those charts. But thank you friends, thank you so much for being with me so far. I hope this video would have been helpful. Please continue your support and subscribe and share the video, and I hope to be back with you with the next video of this series pretty soon. Thank you so much.